Alright then. I think we are ready to go ahead and get started then. Alright. I'll go ahead and, I forget that there's, like, single and double battles that we could do.
Oh, Lord, that is a thing.
I keep forgetting that that's a thing. I think we could probably do, like, single battle then.
That's what I tend to do.
Yeah, single battle's like the good old classic, you know? I will say one thing I do like for this is the whole link code system. I do like that.
Now, I may not be familiar with it. What is the link code system?
Oh, it allows you to actually pick people that you want to battle with on the net or trade with.
So the thing that's been there since why?
Yeah. But I think I think it's because this game is a little bit more bigger and there's a lot more people playing it. That's probably why it's they added it.
No, like, I know it has always been around, because I was very into the online during ORAS.
Oh, yeah?
And they had it back in ORAS where you could pick online who you wanted to battle against.
Oh.
At least as far as I remember. Oh, you know about Don't Do Wonder Trading, right?
Oh, okay, had a little bit of a weird little hiccup there. Don't worry about that. It's all good. It's all good.
Alright, but yeah, you know not to do any Wonder Trading, right?
Do what?
Don't do any Wonder Trading.
Ah, of course. We avoid wonder trading. I already heard about that whole, I'm not entirely sure
I figured everyone had heard, but one of the chats that I was in, someone was talking about doing Wonder Trading just today, and I was like, whoa, hang on. Have you not heard?
Like how, I think there were some hackers that had sent, wonder trade some Pokemon with abilities that I think they would crash the game or something.
Mm-hmm. It's permanent. It breaks your game.
Oh, God. Why do hackers have to be like that?
As far as I understand it, the original people who created them didn't mean to. Because if you trade them, like, peer-to-peer in a known trade, they don't crash your game. They crash your game the once, and then your game boots up, and it's like, ah ha ha, very funny, and you release the Pokemon.
Oh.
But when you Wonder Trade them, it never completes the Wonder Trade, meaning your game tries to forcibly complete the Wonder Trade every time you go online.
Oh, shit.
So your game just crashes every time you try to go online.
The only way to get around that would probably have to be to start a new game, right?
Yep, start a brand new game with a brand new save.
Ooh. That sucks.
Oh yeah. Meanwhile, there's no response from Game Freak other than them taking down some videos.
Now that I did not know about.
Yep.
Alright, so you know how the YCOM works, right?
No, I do not. The amount that I've done online with this one is basically zero.
Oh, okay. Free flying!
Oh, that's right, that's a thing.
You no longer need HM slaves.
Again, haven't since X and Y.
I'm not entirely sure how to feel about that. I mean, it kind of opens up the whole... I mean, it opens up Pokemon to have more moves, admittedly.
Oh, I'm entirely for not having HM slaves.
Oh, yeah. I can't help but feel bad for those Bidoofs.
I'm all for not having required HMs to get somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
It can be frustrating sometimes. I think X and Y and ORAS did it best.
Oh,
where you literally could free fly anywhere with a push of a button.
I like it. I mean, I think that was one of the welcome changes from the series that I was actually totally like supportive of. Like, I think it was actually just the removal of HMs in general. Those moves that you would have to go to a specific town to delete the moves, and I think that was a welcome change.
Yes. I think that's a change that needed to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Right. What am I doing to get online?
Oh, you know how to access the YCOM menu, right? Just hit Y.
Yeah.
And hit the plus button, and that'll help you connect to the internet.
Oh, there it is. It was hidden by my sticker, though. I've never taken the sticker off my TV. Now, with my luck, I find someone else who's not you that randomly put in 8886.
Oh, an opposing trainer has been found.
Yep, there we are.
Nice. Don't mind my surgical mask.
Honestly, you look better than me.
Hey, I'm
Why is
preparing
that
for the
my-
coronavirus. Don't judge me. It'll be a little bit more chaotic if we allowed our Pokemon to have the levels that they got.
Yeah, that would be a problem since none of mine are above 63.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit more fair for us to kind of have our set at an even level for everything, you know? Alright. I think you should be allowed to pick what music you want as your theme, too. Should. Now, don't make the mistake that I did and accidentally hit, OK after selecting only one Pokemon. Because I've done that before.
And on that day, everyone died. No items, right?
I think we have held items equipped. Oh, you only selected 5.
What?
Yeah, it only
showed
showed that you
6 on my
selected
screen.
5.
Oh, well.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We're all good. How are your thoughts on actually using Dynamax, though? I usually wait until it's my last Pokemon that I've got left. Also, that Surfetched is a nightmare.
I would say use Dynamax when you feel it'll be most effective.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. I'd say I've done a few online battles. Granted, I haven't recorded all of them, but anytime that one of my opponents have a Surfetched, they just wreck me. I think my first encounter facing one of these, every time he attacked, it would always be a crit.
Yeah, if you've got them built properly, it always crits. Mine does not.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But they, like, I find it, I actually like Surfetch's design. Like, a Pokemon from the first gen finally gets its own evolution, you know?
Now, if only they'd done that with some others.
Oh my god. I
And
wish.
done actual creative things.
Oh, yeah. I will say, I can't help but laugh at, like, Weezing's Galarian form.
Oh, I like the form changes. Liked him in Sun and liked him in Sun and Moon too. I thought I could survive that.
Yeah. But whenever as soon as I caught one, I could not resist it. I nicknamed mine Doug Dimmadome. I saw the freaking hat and it needed to be done, damn it. Oh, crap. Oh, boy.
Oh, my beloved shit tier apple. Oh my god, you're so much better.
Oh my goodness, it survived.
I'm shocked too.
Dope!
How did it kill him? What?
Okay. Okay. Oh. Ow.
Alright.
That kind of hurt.
Not used to my apple doing anything.
But it worked.
Yeah. Oh my god, man.
I will say, Sun and Moon, this by far was one of my favorite starters, actually. This is actually the same one that I've had from my Sun and Moon, or my Moon file.
It made me very sad in my playthrough of Sun not to pick Primarina.
Oh yeah?
Mostly because I felt that if I had one, it needed to be female, and I didn't want to grind out a female.
Yeah, I heard about how its gender ratio is completely insane. It's what, like 82% male and then like only 18% female? I always thought that all of the
Something
starters
like
had 50-50.
Nope, not anymore.
Huh. That is such an that's a different kind of change that I wasn't expecting, you know?
It's kind of like for this one, they made the starters shiny locked.
Oh, they... How did I survive that?
My answer's going to be the fact that my dog's kind of shit.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright, let's see. Oh, I'm not going to be able to outspeed it. I just realized that. Why did I choose Rain Dance then? Fuck! But yeah, I had no idea that the starters were shiny locked.
Yep.
Damn.
No matter how hard you try, you cannot get... Like, you can get a shiny version of the starter from eggs and stuff, but at the start of the game, for this one, they're shiny locked. You can't get one to start your playthrough, ever.
That is so different. I never really would have expected that.
Nice.
Like my playthrough, I know it's probably weird for me to have a Garbodor, but throughout my entire experience in my Shield playthrough, that Pokemon has been like my ace in the hole. Just because, I don't know what it is, Garbodor is actually not that bad. I know, it sounds weird. I'm praising a bag of garbage. Also, don't judge the cake.
I am not judging the cake. It's adorable.
Indeed. I will say that's... I like a lot of the designs for a lot of the new Pokemon that they added in this generation. I will give them that as a positive. I like a lot of the new designs that they chose.
I will definitely give them that as a positive. The new designs look good. This is where I would use my 6th Pokemon that I somehow didn't bring in.
We can always have a rematch. It's all good.
Oh yeah, we're only gonna do one battle.
I'd say we could. I don't know if you want to have like a rematch. I can try out my other team then. Okay, I'm gonna do something evil here.
Let's see if I'm actually fast enough. Oh no. That's what I get for not doing it. I said to myself I should do it. I was like, nah, I can last one turn like this. Oh, you even got the Gigantamax one. None of my guys are...
Yeah, this was actually a gift from one of my fans. Actually, they caught me one, and well, first off, it was extremely nice of them, and then it was like after that, oh my god, I barely survived that. Oh my god! Actually survived!
Sweet little Lord Cray. Oh, and then the rain stops! No!
Only now the rain stops! Oh god, I forgot what I was talking about.
We were saying that I will give them creativity on the Pokemon for this one.
Oh! 5 HP! Fucking 5!
I bite my thumb at thee.
I don't even know. That salt. If the rain dance was still in effect, that would have knocked him out. That would have knocked her out. No, that would just. That would.
I question if that might have knocked her out if I'd done it last turn.
Probably, but I think I don't know. Whoop. Oh god, a Polteageist. Oh wait, that's a wait. No shit, it is. Crap. Oh right. This Gigantamax was actually, like I said, it was given to me by one of my friends.
Uh-oh, this thing's literally the shittiest member of my team. It's my most beloved member of my team. We got ahead of my apple, but
okay. If my lamb cake was in a different shape, we would have had tea and crumpets. That would have been extremely British. We would have been maximum British. But oh wow, that's a very durable teapot.
That's like the only thing I like about it is that it's kind of durable.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, that did nothing.
Yeah, that's like one of the things about alchemy. It has very bulky stats. Which is, I'd say it's a positive. It's just slow. Now I just have the silliest image of a tiny little cake going up against a giant teapot.
Oh god.
But I think this was, I was actually given this like before they did the event where they started doing a bunch of Milcery raids. So now I mean, I've actually got a few. If you want your own gigantic freaking cake, I've actually got like 4 Milceries that have the Gigantamax symbol to them. If you want one, and I've got like whatever suite you want too, because I looked at the list of all of the different types that this Pokemon can come in, and it blew my mind seeing how many flavors there are.
There's a lot. I swear they put more work into that one little Pokemon than half the game.
Oh my god.
When you die! Oh, for the love of God, this is what I get for not bringing him with me.
She's too durable! It's like a combination of adorable and durable. But,
There we go.
there it is. Alright, that was not a fair battle because you didn't have your full team. That was not a fair one. I will not accept that as a win.
Okay.
Alright, thankfully we can actually go ahead and just... Oh, I can accept your card. Oh yeah, speaking of the actual Dynamaxing system, I kind of like it, mostly because it also... It makes pretty much any Pokemon that you've got kind of viable in a way, because it's like with Mega Evolutions, those were locked to certain Pokemon, but Dynamax goes for everyone. Really, the only thing that makes them limited is the whole Gigantamax stuff, I think.
That's a fair way to look at it.
Now, I will say, I think because certain Pokemon, like Garbodor as an example, got those Gigantamax forms, I think because of that, they made a lot of these older Pokemon get some more viability and more playability in that regard. With that decision, at least. Oh man, I thought that would do more. That did more than I thought it would.
I believe that one works better the slower than you I am, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, Electro Ball does do a lot more damage if I'm faster. I guess I'm not faster enough.
Well, no, I mean, I think mine also does more damage based on how much slower than you I am. I think, I don't remember.
No, wait, that one's, you're thinking of Gyro Ball. That's what that one is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Gyro Ball is where if you are slower, you deal more damage. I thought I would survive that.
I thought you would too, won't lie.
Okay, then. Alright. I'll send out my ghost instead.
For that. Listen here.
What? A golem versus a teapot. I wonder what's going to win. Oh, shit.
The teapot.
Okay. This might pose a problem. And Dynamax at the beginning. Oh. Just thought, I think I just thought of another, oh crap. Don't knock out, don't knock out, don't knock out. No! Oh. 6 HP.
Oh.
6. I got very lucky.
Oh!
Oh!
I'm sure I was gonna manage to knock you out with that.
Damn! That was a close one. A solid 6 HP that just got restored by the thing you put in place.
God damn it.
Oh, another positive that I can think of. Feel free to go ahead and bring up your own little what you think might be I mean, I'm pretty sure you got your own opinions about what you think is bad about the game, which that's fair. That's kind of why we're having I think it's a safe conversation. I think.
I would think so.
I don't have a knife to my neck, I think.
What I would figure is, I know what I think very strongly.
Right.
And you say you have a list of good and bad points.
Right.
Why don't you bring up the stuff on your list, and if there's anything that hasn't been brought up that I am thinking of, I'll bring it up.
Yeah, I think we can just probably tackle some of these things one at a time and kind of see how they go then.
Yeah.
I think one thing I do like about the games, like, if there's one thing I think that improves with each installment, though, is usually the music, I think.
I can agree to a certain extent. I have a problem with the music because of their obnoxious habit that's more prevalent in this game than it has been in any of the previous, but it's been a problem in all the previous.
Oh, yeah?
Of miming making music. And the miming doesn't make any sense to what's happening, and the problem is it happens a lot with the Team Yell leader.
Oh boy, where do we begin with that guy?
Where it's just...
Actually, you know what? That's a good idea. Let's go ahead and...
I'm singing, I'm talking, and you're just forced to sit there and watch them flap their gums like a dead fish.
That right there is actually one of the bad that I kind of wanted to... Let's kind of talk about that bad right there. Like, there's...
That was part of my problem with the music, because when you put that juxtaposition over the music, I don't care how good the music sounds anymore. It looks so stupid.
Like, that's one of those moments where there could have easily been some good voice acting put in there. Like, it could be one of those rare moments where they actually added an actually unique... Okay, I was actually talking to one of my coworkers about this, actually, about Pierce and that very, very awkward,
There were two spots. That, every time Pierce was singing, so his fight, and then when he's helping you with the biggest fucking quotation marks, find the guy at the end once the padding has set in extra hard.
Oh, yeah?
And then at the very beginning with Chairman Rose, the very start of the game, first impression I got was, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, okay, like, those two moments, those could have been actually really well done if they actually added some voice acting. And, like I said, I was talking to one of my coworkers, how the hell did I miss? Fuck!
I have no idea.
Okay, I think it's because, okay, I got crit knocked out there. I think it's because Crosschop has, like, okay, what is it, like, I think it only has, like, 90 accuracy, so that 10% screwed me over there. Oh well. But,
to be fair, you're 6.
Fair enough.
This is
But,
a very different fight right now.
Fair enough. But, like I said, I was talking to one of my coworkers, and we were, like, trying to figure out what would be a good voice actor, even if it's just to have voice acting in that one segment where Pierce is singing. Like, we were thinking maybe some voice actor like maybe Matt Mercer could probably do it, because he's actually got a pretty good singing voice, I think.
I could see it.
Yeah. Ooh, you have a shell bell, don't you? Or is that... Oh, that was the grassy thing. That's right. Sorry, had a bit of a brain fart on that one. But,
Nope, man, I've got a leak. You don't run anything on Kinemon except a leak.
Fair enough. But, yeah, I mean, it would be one of those moments where, like, Pierce, ironically, is actually my favorite gym leader in this generation, believe it or not. Despite some of the bad stuff. Like that awkward, incredibly awkward voice, voiceless
that was a
singing.
strong point, in my opinion, was the gym leaders. These gym leaders felt the most alive of any gym leaders since I genuinely kind of want to say the first generation.
Oh, I can kind of agree with you on that one. I really loved, like, a lot of the gym leaders in this generation had fantastic personality. I know, like, you played Sword version, and I played Shield version, so a couple of our gym leaders were a little different. Like, in yours, you got, what's his name, Gordy?
Fuck Gordy, I hate Gordy.
I got his mom.
His mom's a milf, come on.
She is. I'm gonna have to admit, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. She is. I cannot deny that.
But Gordy himself he's a spoiled, rotten child who throws a fit and doesn't want to talk to anyone when he loses a Pokemon battle.
That's the kind of feeling that I kind of got from him a little bit. I do admit, I think maybe my opinion might have been a little bit different if I didn't have some of the, I chose the wrong move there by accident. I meant to go with a different move. But,
Oh. Well,
yeah.
it worked.
How is she still alive? Oh, right, reflect.
Yeah.
But I think it's because, I think my opinion might be a little bit different because of the information that I got from his mom. And, God damn it, I chose the wrong move again! I got distracted!
Stop that, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, I got outsped and knocked out anyway.
For the record, hello, this is the last member of my team.
Shit. Now here's the question, will she survive, damn it? Okay, but I think it's because the information that I got from Melanie about, you know, Gordy that, okay, yeah, I can kind of see why he is the kind of the way he is, sort of. Alright, I believe it's my turn. But,
I didn't say it was your turn.
no, I'm Dynamaxing, damn it.
Alright.
I'm Gigantamaxing.
I love that.
Oh yeah, its Pokedex entry is just freaking hilarious. If you have powerful emotions, it will silence you violently.
Vibe check.
Oh my god, I saw that actual piece of fan art with the vibes. Actually, there's been like a couple of them, but I saw one of them in it. I was dying.
Ow.
Literal vibe check for you right there.
Steel Wing vibe.
Oh my goodness.
Oh shit! I wasn't supposed to use Kinemon and what yet? I forgot my own strategy.
Oh, well timed, your speed has been lowered. Alright. Let's see if you can survive these.
I'm curious what this would do. Assuming I win. Or assuming I live.
Assuming you live! Oh my god!
9 health.
Your dog is durable. Except it got confused.
Yes. Oh, okay, so no, you cannot roar a Dynamax Pokemon.
I think it's also because it's my last Pokemon that I've got.
As far as I understand it, if I roar your last Pokemon, they should get tossed in and immediately back out, so I was hoping that I could roar you, toss you in, and you'd come back out non-Dynamax.
It seems like Dynamaxing does seem to block out a few sort of abilities I noticed. Roar
That's
being one of
specifically
them.
what it said, is that the power of Dynamaxing was too strong for me to actually... What the...
You still
Henry
outsped?
first.
Okay. Well, actually, Hatterene does not have the best speed, so I guess it makes sense why he got outsped. But,
Sorry, Henry.
wait, I forgot what I was talking about again. Oh, the gym leaders. But yes,
but a lot of the gym leaders felt alive. They felt like they interacted with the world. They felt like they actually mattered, and they felt like characters for the first time. Because
yes.
having recently replayed like X and Y is my personal favorite. It's where I really got into the series.
X and Y is actually a good series. It's a good entry to the series, I think.
But having recently replayed it, I can tell they definitely tried to do that with the gym leaders.
Like, tried to make them much more active in the world and actually make them feel like a part of the world that they're in.
But it did not work in X and Y. It just turned into being annoying, where you were like, yeah, cool, you do photography. Shut the fuck up and get out of my way.
Right. Then again, X and Y was the series that introduced a villain that, at the end of the game, tries to commit mass genocide. Holy crap! Getsus ain't got shit on that.
That is very true. Let's see if this works.
All right, I'm wondering which one's actually going to be faster, the flying apple or the vibe checker.
The flying apple.
Okay, the flying. What? I've never seen this move. Ow. I've actually never seen that move.
It's unique to that Pokemon.
Well, crap. Like I said,
it's an actually powerful physical plant move.
You want to go another round?
Always.
All right. Now, in terms of story, I will admit, like, I think I noticed that lately the villainous teams aren't as, well, villainous, you know? Like, I think Team, like, okay, let's
I love Team Yall.
Yeah.
Like, I love Team Yall. They're my favorite villain team yet. But they're not the villains.
No, they're I like the concept of Team Yell. Like, Pierce literally created a villainous team to support his little sister. That is some cute shit right there.
The thing is, Pierce didn't even create them.
I know.
They're Pierce's trainers. They just simply decided that we love Marnie and we're going to go support her.
Right. And he's like, okay, you're supporting my little sister, all right.
And then it's like, oh wait, you're actually getting in the way of other gym challengers, guys,
stop it. You can support my little sister, but just stop it.
You gotta do it right, guys.
Yeah. I'll give him that. Like, Team Yell, they're not that bad. They're not that bad. They're not actually really they're not villainous, you know.
I find them adorable.
Yeah. Oh, 9 HP.
Oh shit! Now you're gonna get a free turn.
I'm going to get a free turn. Damn, I'm getting very lucky with the pixels of HP here.
Oof.
I was honestly not expecting to survive that.
Whoa!
Yeah. So I did not know this, but apparently Garbodor can learn Seed Bomb.
I didn't think Seed Bomb would do quite that much damage to me.
Well, it is super effective. But dang. But I will say, in terms of story concept, I like that since Pierce is actually our, what is he? He's our very first dark gym leader, I believe. I don't think we've actually had a dark gym leader before. Not counting the, not like counting Elite Four, you know.
Was Koga dark or was Koga poison?
Oh, Koga was poison.
I never remember.
Yeah, Koga was poison, even though a good portion of his team were mostly bugs. They just happened to be poison.
It's almost like that was the vast majority of poison back then, was dark poison or bug poison.
It kind of was. But, I like what they did. He was, he was like the first Dark Gym leader. He doesn't even use Dynamax, and I like that his character, he doesn't even like Dynamax. And what was it, like, story-wise, he was almost able, like, without Dynamax, he can almost beat Raihan, who's supposed to be, like, what, next to the champion in terms of, you know, strength? Yeah. Like, that's impressive. Oh, wait, no, I don't want to switch to that one. I'll die immediately.
All of the individual moments of the story, I loved so much. Right.
Nah, fuck it, I'll go ahead and do this. But,
the problem with the story as a whole was so weak.
Let's go ahead and switch away from the gym leaders then and kind of talk a little bit about the story then. I will kind of agree. After going through this in, like, like I said, I avoided a lot of the talk about it, and I wanted to form my own opinions on it. First off, holy shit, your apple's durable.
That's the problem. My apple's supposed to be a sleeper, but he's not very fast and he's not very strong. He just tanks. Oh god, I'm dead.
Well, actually, the funny thing is my dragon is actually the bulky, has extremely high special defense type. And after I kind of went through the story, I am kind of leaning a little bit that I feel like if Game Freak stopped doing a Pokemon game every year and actually gave themselves some time, like 2 years, they would have been able to put a lot more into this. Like, that's kind of what I want to believe in a way.
The problem is I just can't believe that at this point. Game Freak is so arrogant and they're so up their own ass.
Like, I won't lie, because after I played this and I started formulating my own opinions on it, I looked into the whole, what do they call that? The Dexit situation? Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
I looked into that and I realized, yeah, it kind of does sound just a tiny bit shady. But then again, I'm kind of like a bit of a middleman, and I chose a water type against an electric type. What is wrong with me?
I don't know. Thank you.
I'm getting distracted, but I'm still having fun. Damn it.
That's what matters. The problem is Dexit's even shadier than it sounds.
Right.
Because since you weren't actively following stuff, you probably weren't keeping up with this part. You remember how their whole listed reason for why they couldn't make these models was, oh my god.
Wow. Okay, wait a minute. How the hell can your dog survive like a max Dynamax attack, but a water type move from a non-Dynamax? Okay, you know what? Your dog has the blessings of a god, but the defenses of a stick.
But worthless and worthless.
Shit. Okay. Damn it.
Anyways,
but
the big excuse for why they couldn't do it was we're remaking every model from the ground up.
Yeah, that was what I was getting ready to come toward about the whole. How the hell did you survive? You know what? It's probably best I just stop questioning these things.
That's bullshit. People have broken it down. That is an actual outright lie.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that, how a lot of the models, they're basically the same. And
there's no basically. They are literally tetrahedron for tetrahedron, or whatever it's called. Facet. Every
funny term that
triangle,
I don't know the word of. That's what it is.
Every single little triangle that makes up each of these Pokemon.
The little polygons.
Yeah, polygon. That's the word I'm thinking of. They are literally identical.
Right. I remember reading about that.
That's just not possible.
And I mean, the fact that they're with the DLC, I've noticed that they're going to be I've already transferred, as you can see, a good portion of the Pokemon that I've got.
And that's the thing, the DLC, they're like, oh, look, we put them back in like you wanted. Bitch, you said you couldn't do this and that you would never do it.
Right.
And you expect us to be thankful now that you did, after you told us that we were stupid for wanting it, that we didn't know what we wanted? There's a quote from several games back, like back before X and Y, that I think speaks a lot about Game Freak.
I think, like, for me... Oh, sorry, go ahead, sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
The quote is, they said, it's a quote from their team leader. And he said that he's seen everything that we say... 1 HP! Fuck. That he's seen everything that we say that we want in the Pokemon series. And he stated that they laugh at us loudly and often in their headquarters, because we don't want any of that, and they'd be stupid to include any of it, because we don't know what makes a good Pokemon game.
Now,
He said he reads off our ideas for fun, and the team laughs at how stupid they are.
Now, I'm not trying to, nah, I swear, I'm not trying to actively, like, defend Game Freak. I'm just trying to, like, how I look at this, I look at this game as...
Oh, I'm gonna fix yourself.
Oh! Now here's a question. Will my... That did much more damage than I was prepared for.
Brave Bird hits like a truck.
It does! And you know what? I'm gonna have a little bit of a divergence here talking about... I've been starting to play, like, Pokemon Coliseum on my channel because I've never played it before. Mm-hmm. And... The difference between, like, the recoil damage is staggering. Like, I did not realize that they actually changed the formula that much.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, that was a bit of a quick little divergence on that one. But, I think when it comes to the animations, I feel like the PR team kind of handled that really poorly. And...
There's no animations. They showed off... That, again, was very backhanded. Mm-hmm. They showed off animations for the starter Pokemon who get their own singular special animation that they do every time. And They said, look guys, we gave everyone animations. And
right.
They did.
Now, I will go ahead and say this, I really don't blame the people that actually made the game. Like, the ones that were working on it, like developers, I can't really put the blame on them. They're just, trying to do their job, I think.
I don't put the blame on them, I put the blame on Game Freak as a whole, though.
Right. I think, like I said, I want to believe that... How dare you! Friggin' using detect on me. But, I still want to say that maybe if they had actually tried to take the time to develop it instead of trying to meet, like, a quota, in a way, that this probably could have been... I think this could have been handled a lot better, Oh, I finally won for once. Finally!
What? Counterpoint to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Game Freak's one and only other game that they've done. Tempo the Badass Elephant.
Temple of the Badass Elephant?
It was the game that, I believe Game Freak did. It might have been Creature Creations, though.
Creature?
And it was, which is part of them. It's not very good. It's generic. It has a couple of cute ideas, but then they expect those cute ideas to carry them through the whole game.
Oh.
And they haven't really thought out anything else. It feels like Pokemon syndrome to me.
Ooh, that's a bad... Ooh. That's not good.
And overall, Game Freak doesn't innovate. Game Freak doesn't change. Game Freak doesn't do anything.
Right.
Every passing game, Game Freak gets more and more arrogant at all of the players as a whole. This was the core point for my video.
I think it's a combination of, like, complacency and what you were saying with arrogance, maybe.
Yes. Is that Game Freak has become complacent because Pokemon is an event. People say, I won't buy Pokemon. And they still buy Pokemon because Pokemon is an event, and if you don't buy Pokemon, then you're missing out on the cultural event. And they know that.
Right. Oh, I actually hit for another match there. Sorry.
Sorry, I set it down because I was fleshing out this thought.
Oh, right. Sorry.
And they can afford to be arrogant like that. They can afford to be complacent. They can afford to never update or change.
I mean, they are a multi-billion dollar... what is it? I don't want to say billion because I might be overestimating it. Like, multi-million-dollar company, right? Like...
yes. Although, they're scared.
Right. I mean, this game sold incredibly well despite a lot of the backlash that it did receive. What is it? But like, it was like one of their best-selling ones, I think?
It is, yes. It is also the 5th best-selling game on the Switch.
Oh, damn. Wait, what's the first one? Wait, let me guess. Breath of the Wild.
I would expect so. Let me check.
Yeah, that right there has actually got me kind of curious. Like, I had no idea that it sold that well.
Let's see. Yeah, 5th, Pokemon Sword and Shield selling 16 million copies.
Holy
Breath
crap.
of the Wild's number 4.
What is it?
Breath of the Wild is number 4.
Oh, what are the top 3?
Super Mario Odyssey at number 3, Smash Bros. Ultimate at number 2, which is what I thought would be a number 2.
Yeah, I figured.
But number 1 is actually Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Really?
22.96 million.
Damn, people really want to hurt each other. I mean, let's be fair, that's kind of how usually Mario Kart is reduced to.
Yeah. What shocks me is that Three Houses is the 15th.
You gotta be kidding me. I've been really enjoying Three Houses. I figured it'd be higher.
I did too, but it's 15th. It got beat by 1-2 Switch.
Oh. It's not even in the top 10. What the hell?
Yeah.
Three Houses is, I mean, I'm still currently going through my Blue Lion house. Like, almost 50-some episodes later, I'm still in the Blue Lion house route because it is packed with so much content.
Uh-huh. I saw one of the cutscenes from the Blue Lion route, and I started physically crying.
Is this, crap, I don't know what kind of question to ask here.
I haven't played the Blue Lion route. I was watching someone talk about the game in general, and they showed the cutscene, and I'm like, I don't know that cutscene. That must be from the Blue Lion. And I started watching, and oh god, I actually started physically crying. Oh,
you need to go to the Blue Lion house whenever you get a chance. That's actually what I've started on, and I've not regretted a minute of it so far. It is. They're like the most wholesome house.
I need to go back to playing. Have you done the? Are you in the time skip yet? Or
yes.
Should I keep my mouth shut on what the scene was?
Yep, I am. I'm knee deep into the time skip.
I'm not sure if the cutscene would have happened yet. Then they go back onto the battlefield for the where you did the battle when.
The battle of the eagle and lion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know which one. I know what scene you're talking about. Let's avoid the spoilers because people are watching a Pokemon video right now.
Yeah, sorry, but yeah, that scene.
We can continue a topic on Fire Emblem later. That sounds like fun.
So, anyways, I think that's where this problem is coming from, and I think it's gonna bite Game Freak in the ass because a lot of the analysis of why they actually people breaking it down and looking at why they actually didn't redo the models and didn't do other things is because most of their team wasn't working on Pokemon.
Yeah, I bet you that's probably one of the reasons. Like, these were probably some people that hadn't even been working on Pokemon that had no idea what they were doing, so they kind of had...
Well, most of their team, basically, from the sound of it, we can't get exact numbers, but the assumption that I find most likely is that about a third of Game Freak was actually working on Pokemon.
That might actually be, like, one reason they had to use, like, the... reuse a lot of like the animations and all that for some stuff, because I did notice one, like, I didn't want to bring it up, but I did notice Hop doing an animation that I remembered from Sun and Moon that Hal did.
Oh,
I recognized that.
I noticed because I despise Hal and I despise Hop, and it just made me despise Hop even more.
Oh no, don't you dare hurt my precious boy. Don't worry, I'm actually on the team that actually kind of likes Hop.
To quote one of the YouTubers that I watch, and I watched through his full gameplay of the game.
Oh yeah?
Stop pulsing at me!
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh my god, just stop pulsing. Oh look, there's Hop. Oh shit, he didn't pulse at me. Oh. It's a good day after all.
Okay.
But so
the
assumption is, because I keep sidetracking myself.
Yeah.
That the other 2/3 of Game Freak has been working on Town.
Yeah, now I know what you're talking about. I remember that there was another game that was being in development at the same time as Sword and Shield, like Town Hero, wasn't it?
I think it's just called Town.
Yeah, I think that's the game that was being worked on at the same time, and that's where most of the team had been working.
And we think, those of us who subscribe to this theory think that most of Game Freak is working on it because Game Freak's in a corner. Game Freak brought in a lot of sales, but you know what? Niantic did better than them with Pokemon Go because recurrent revenue.
I did remember reading something about, like, how successful Niantic, even though they've screwed up quite a lot concerning Pokemon Go, their sales are still holy shit.
Yeah.
Like,
they brought in so much money because of the recurrent revenue, and what do you know? Suddenly, Pokemon's costing $60 despite not changing anything. Suddenly, it's costing $90 despite not changing anything. And the $90 is essentially to get what should have been our endgame, and any other Pokemon would have been our endgame content.
like part of me, like in that regard, part of me thinks that if Game Freak had put in a little bit more time, like they had, okay, let's actually, with the topic about the workers, if there were more workers that actively worked on Pokemon, they were actually working on Sword and Shield instead of the town game, and there was just a little bit more time added to it. Part of me wants to believe, I highly, it's probably very unlikely because, let's be fair, I'm actually quite naive and sometimes I can be a bit too optimistic, kind of. Part of me wants to believe that maybe the Isle of Armor would be actually put in the base game, and the Icy Tundra would have been DLC later on, or there would have been much more DLC actually planned. Part of me wants to believe that, or possibly there could have actually been more Pokemon that were originally cut but then put back in. Part of me wants to believe that. But then again, like I said, I admit I'm kind of a soft, naive sort of guy, you know. I want to see the best in people.
I tend to be over harsh and I assume the worst, but I assume the worst because they've shown us nothing but the worst.
I think that's why it's kind of like a good idea having like two different sides kind of talk about this. That way we can kind of bounce off each other with sort of what's going on here. I like that dynamic.
Yeah.
I mean, you can only listen to some. I mean, I've talked to some people, and they usually tend to agree with me a lot, and not really offer like a counter. I'm not counting my Discord because, trust me, I've got a few people in my Discord. Shout out to you, Setsuna, who actually have like their own gripes about it, and their opinions are valid, and their thoughts are, you know, noted and valid and all that. So I'm not calling out them. I'm just giving them a shout out. So if Setsuna, if you're listening, you just got shouted out. But
with Town, I think what Game Freak doesn't see is this is biting them in the ass. Because they're right. People will keep buying Pokemon.
It is unfortunate.
You can raise the price, and people will keep buying it because of fear of missing out, because of FOMO.
Right.
But Town doesn't have that.
It doesn't have the same pull that Pokemon does, you know?
I deeply expect that when Town comes out, it's going to do horridly.
Part of me wants to, like...
everyone who knows about Town, everyone who's following and knows Game Freak and knows about Town, is going to know what Game Freak pulled with Sword and Shield.
Right. Like,
and
for
that's
me,
going to be the game that gets ignored. No one cares. No one wants Town. And then everyone who doesn't know any better, I haven't seen any advertising for Town, any announcements about Town. It's not being advertised very well.
I noticed that. Like, I know the game exists. Oh, sorry.
Its sales outside of that crowd aren't going to be good. They're going to have to sell themselves on, we're Game Freak, guys. You know us. We make Pokemon. Yeah, you do make Pokemon. Wow, you're dicks. No thanks.
But I'm kind of in the crowd. Yeah, I agree. I have not really seen many advertisements concerning Town. I think there was actually one YouTuber that I can't remember. I don't quote me on this, but I remember there's one YouTuber that I actually watch. I think he did an analysis and thoughts on the whole Town thing. I can't remember if it was Clemps or somebody else, but I'm kind of in that crowd where I want to see it. So even if I might end up shelling some money, it really just depends on how much it's going to cost. But I want,
based on their attitude, $60 minimum.
I'll wait till I get like a discount or a gift card. But I want to see the Town game myself. I want to. Well, I want to do what I usually do with a lot of games. I want to try to go into an experience as blind as I can, and then try it out for myself, and that way I can formulate my own opinions on it, you know? Kind of like, okay, which kind of gets me to my point about the Pokemon Sword and Shield. Looking at it, I think, tit for tat, it's not the best, but I want to say that it is just minus a lot of the negative press about it. Negative, or just kind of like, let's kind of step away from a lot of the negative stuff about it. I think Pokemon Sword and Shield is a good Pokemon game. It's not the best, but I think with some of the good that it does, some of the stuff that it does do well. I wish that it could have been better, but I could find myself playing this game for quite a lot of time just in that regard. It's not the best, but I think it is a good game. I know I'm probably
I would argue it's an average. It's a middle tier average Pokemon game for two reasons.
right.
And I think that our statement of it's good or it's average has no meaning whatsoever, and it's actually bad. But that's a somewhat roundabout statement, and I'll explain that afterwards. But in terms of just the game itself, ignoring, as you said, the negative press, the negative PR, everything else, I would agree and would call it a good game if it weren't for two things.
Right.
First is the cost.
Right, yeah,
I spend almost a full page of my script discussing this, but the game is quantifiably not worth $60.
like I mean it's like, I mean, I know it's on the Switch, which is arguably an incredible, it's a very powerful system.
But you're not doing anything with that power.
I can kind of agree with you on that one. Like,
But
little changes, like if
the argument I get back, for instance, my girlfriend, the Lag Fairy, is a die-hard Pokemon fan.
Who is it?
And the Lag Fairy, she shows up sometimes in my streams, or I talk about her, but my girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
She's a die-hard Pokemon fan. And her argument is, well, I got $60 worth of enjoyment out of it. And that's the only argument I've heard that touches on a potential way that it's worth $60. But at that point, you have to look at what else is worth $60. Breath of the Wild, $60. Three Houses is $60.
It's funny that you bring up
Mario Odyssey is $60.
Wait, Mario Odyssey is $60?
Mm-hmm.
I actually did not know that. I figured it was like the 30-40 range.
Nope, it's also $60. Because I just bought it the other day. I actually didn't have a copy of it.
I've actually never played it myself either.
It's pretty fun so far. I'm debating starting over and recording it just to be able to play it and have the recording of it.
Hell, you've got me.
Also, Skyrim.
Try it.
Skyrim on the Switch is $60. Those are all Switch games that are $60 right now that you could pick up at your GameStop and would give you more entertainment, more innovation, better gameplay, better graphics, better story. Whether some of them are worth $60 or not is an argument. But even then, you can quantifiably prove that this Pokemon is not worth $60 because you'll get the same amount of enjoyment out of this Pokemon as every other Pokemon.
I can kind of agree with that. I'm not even sure X and Y were in the $60 range. I don't.
X and Y were 40.
Yeah, that's right. I do remember that they were in that. Yeah, I remember that much. Like,
they've been 40 up until now.
I mean, I think
and
little changes.
Even the ones people consider the best tier ones, like if you want to buy a used copy of like Heart Gold, Soul Silver, that's still in the $50 range. Last time I checked.
Oh yeah, but yeah, those games are still like, holy crap! I actually went to a GameStop just the other day. I was kind of I was getting a Ring Fit. I know I'm talking about a different game here, but I got a Ring Fit. First off,
yep.
It's actually kind of fun.
Like I said, I said in the Discord, I was glancing at that game, but I can't justify $80 to $90.
Well, I think it's not only the price that you're buying like a $40 game, but you're also buying this these two interesting tools. I'm actually holding it in my arms right now.
Yeah, I've seen them. The ring and the band around your leg.
Yeah. I will say it is interesting how it can kind of like see your heart rate, and we're getting off subject again, damn it.
Sorry. Yeah, so
Sorry.
Those older Pokemon games are still sub 60, and you'll get just as much enjoyment, if not more, out of those. On top of that, Pokemon Uranium and Pokemon Prism.
Free!
Things Game Freak doesn't want us to talk about. Free, with actual innovation.
Shit, now that you actually brought that up, Nintendo is gonna freaking contact me. Take your video down! Damn it!
Oh, don't worry, they were going to take it down for you anyway.
I'll censor it and put in some random weird sound effects for that. Fuck.
Well, in my script, I actually included a section where I was like, Game Freak, you should not be able to declare copyright on Prism and Uranium. Because the concept behind copyright is that you are crossing into a market, you're infringing on a potential sales market, I believe is the correct phrasing.
Shit, I mean, I think Pokemon Uranium's actually been name dropped in my server a couple of times that people want me to play that. And on top of Pokemon Prism. I've never played either.
They're both Uranium includes a bunch of really interesting stuff, but overall it's just a very competently made fan Pokemon game that actually has fun and innovation.
Cool.
Prism has an innovation where you actually get to play as your Pokemon and solve little puzzles as your Pokemon.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but I basically say in my script that, look, Game Freak, you shouldn't be allowed to take these down under copyright, because copyright is something that is infringing on a potential market. You clearly don't want to innovate. You clearly don't want to do anything that would actually involve passion and love. So these aren't your market.
Sorry. I was clearing my throat. I wasn't trying to interrupt. I was clearing my throat.
No. That was my full thought. But so when you look at all of those, the $60 is the one thing that prevents me from saying that it's good.
I think it would be a little bit more forgivable if it was like dropped down to like, what, 40, I think?
If it was 40 like everyone previously has been.
Right.
If it felt like they'd done anything to justify an increased price tag, I'd be more forgiving.
Right.
Anything to justify the price tag.
Give us freaking Pokemon walking with us, damn it. We had that. Like, you got wild Pokemon that are just in the wild area, wandering around. Let me have my Alchemy just trying to catch up to me, damn it.
So many little things they could do, but instead they did what feels like the bare minimum. But then the second issue is the padding. Every Pokemon game's got some padding issues, but this game, oh my god.
What kind of padding, actually, if I might ask?
Just simply drawing out the story. The strongest example I can think of it are two instances. One is all of the goons with one Pokemon each that you knock out in one hit. But in order to fight them, you have to have them run up. They say something to you. Then you get the transition screen. Now you're standing there. Pokeball throws.
I think that's kind of one of... I think that right there has always been like a bit of a staple through the whole series, though, I think.
It has been, but the problem is when you go through all of that, you immediately knock it out in one hit. They leave. They're like, you finish all their animation. They leave, and then you have to sit through it again immediately for the next 12 guys with one Pokemon each.
You know, it's funny. It's funny you kind of bring that up. I think I kind of came across a similar situation back when during my last episode of Pokemon Coliseum. I was going through this layer of like the villainous team there. Oh my god, the amount of grunts. But then again, Pokemon Coliseum, I believe that one was made by a different company actually. I
believe it was.
Yeah.
Or yeah, actually Pokemon Coliseum was, because you'll notice there's actual battle animations in it.
Yes, I did. That's one thing that I did notice. Like, the Pokemon all had, like, completely different animations than what I was used to. So this is kind of a bit of a blind experience to me. Now, concerning Coliseum, though, like, whenever I first started it, I was a little bit worried about, like, people that were going to be talking about it. I mean, I admittedly asked some of my viewers that if you wanted to talk about comparing the animations and stuff like that, I would like to keep my comment section relatively, you know, hostility free, you know, because I'm experiencing this game blind and I'm afraid of causing like arguments because I started the game.
Which is a fair worry.
Right. And
I
thankfully,
won't say a lot about it. I'll just say that the arguments that would be so hard to make animations because we don't have the space for that is kind of a really stupid argument.
right?
When you've got the Coliseum games on the Nintendo 64 doing more. And
Oh
again,
no, you're thinking of the Stadium games.
yeah, Coliseum and Stadium.
Yeah, Coliseum and
Coliseum
Stadium.
and Stadium.
I've actually seen a lot of the different animations that those Pokemon have, and I gotta say, it is definitely different. I mean,
As far as I'm aware, it's not. It was done by a different team, and that makes a difference.
like I think,
But-
like the impression, like it was when it was X and Y where we finally got like handheld 3D stuff, and that's where the bulk of the initial animations were made for a large amount of the Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
they've used those animations ever since.
Usually only adding like new animations specifically for the new Pokemon. And those, the funniest thing is like the newer Pokemon that they keep adding, they always seem to have much more what's the
Going
word
on.
I'm looking for? Much flourishing and more dynamic animations.
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah,
like a lot of the new Pokemon. Like whenever I hear them the discussion about how they were working on the animations, I think because of that, my initial thought was, oh, they're talking about the animations of the new Pokemon, not the old ones. Those are the ones they're going to reanimate. But then again, or not reanimate, sorry, reuse.
But even the animations of the new Pokemon, for instance, take Inteleon, because I love my Inteleon.
That snipe shot animation, I know I actually kind of like that.
I love the Snipe Shot animation, but that's his only animation. Every attack he does uses the Snipe Shot animation. If you teach that motherfucker Surf, he does the Snipe Shot animation and then hops into the wave.
Yeah, I mean, I would like if... I kind of wish that they could probably get some people that worked on the Coliseum games, maybe. Like, rehire some of those people.
Again, arrogance. They don't need to. They know better. They don't need to hire those people. They know what they're doing. We're just whining.
Right. Me, I'm just, like I said, I know I probably sound like one of those, I probably sound incredibly complacent because, like I said, I enjoyed the game, but I'm not going to ignore some of the bad stuff about it, you know?
But the padding I was saying,
Yeah.
it gets at its worst at the end of the game when you're supposed to go up against the champion. And then it's like, well, you can't go up against the champion yet because this reason. Alright, go fight this person. Alright, now go up the tower. Alright, come back down. Alright, well, now you can't get to the tower. Go chase this dude around the center square for, 5 battles in a row? As people just let him run away?
Actually, I think it was 3. If memory serves, how it worked was he had 2 different Pokemon each time, which technically amounted to a total of 6.
It would be 3. That's still at least 1 too many.
Right. It's funny. Speaking about that, let's go ahead and talk about, like, this is kind of like a bit of a controversial sort of topic here. I'm not entirely sure if it's really controversial. I chose my words wrong there. Chairman Rose. Now, let's talk a little bit about him. Let's talk about the good and the blatantly obvious kind of bad. I feel like Chairman Rose was handled not as well as he could have been. I think
agree.
he could have been much better handled. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, he's not necessarily a bad guy. Like, his motivations are pretty obvious. He wants to ensure the future of Galar, right? It's just that he couldn't wait a day. And he caused...
I would argue maybe they're not obvious.
Do what?
I might argue that they're not obvious. For the reason of, do we have any idea why he was doing what he was doing or what he thought it was going to accomplish?
Like,
The problem is that something that I love caused something that I hate. Where I love... Oh, computer keeps going to sleep. I love the fact that things happen and you see them happen.
yeah.
And instead of the usual Pokemon thing where it's like, small child, you must go fix this. You're our only hope. And I'm like, I'm 7. Leave me alone. Let me battle Pokemon. Yay! Instead,
Just
it's
champion
like,
in. I need
no,
to ask
the
this 10-year-old boy to save the world.
Exactly. Instead, the champion's like, dude, keep doing your thing. You're a kid. I'm the champion. This is my job. And we see the champion have a job. And I'm like, oh my god, I love this. But because of that, I have no goddamn clue what Rose was actually trying to accomplish. Like, I can see that whatever he was doing made sense to him.
Like, I think...
What was it?
Like I said, that's why I think that Chairman Rose could have been written a lot better. Like, I mean, if they spent a little bit more time on him, like, whenever I was going through my journey through Galar and I saw Chairman Rose, he just seemed like a goofy sort of dad character, you know?
Every time I saw him, I loved him. I'm like, where are your pants? Oh
Like,
my god,
that was amazing. Him walking out in the sunglasses and the freaking... He has the dad body and the shorts down perfectly.
Oh, hell yeah. I loved that. I think, unfortunately, it comes from the writing, where they did the right thing, and you don't constantly run into him the whole time. So then, when suddenly he's the villain, it blindsides you in a bad way. Because you're like, that's neat. Why are we doing this? What are we accomplishing? What's with you, crazy BDSM lady? Chill.
Oh, let's actually go back to Oleana. Since I've gone a little bit further, I actually know a little bit more about her motivations and why she is the way she is, believe it or not. And I hope it might change your opinion of her.
I would love for my opinion to be changed. Again,
alright, so...
I don't think I said it while you were recording, but I was so frustrated with the ending of the game.
Oh, I'm actually still
knowing how
recording.
little endgame content there was that I didn't play it. Picking the game up in order to battle you was the first time I started in on endgame content.
All right, I gotta tell you, I'll help you change your opinion about Oleana. So, first off, let's look at her team. Most of it's like beauty Pokemon, right? And then her final one is a Garbodor.
Yeah.
What did you think about that whenever that first happened? Why do you think she has a Garbodor among all of her beauty Pokemon?
My impression was that she was very focused on technology, and my impression was that it was unusually thematic and... what's the right word that I'm looking for? Representative of Game Freak, where it was supposed to represent the company and the shiny exterior of the company, but then when you get to the absolute heart, it's this giant mound of evil trash.
Well, get this. I actually looked a little bit into Oleana's story, and I actually learned a little bit about her. So, apparently, that Garbodor was actually her first Pokemon, and she actually grew up extremely poor.
Oh.
And Rose took her in. So, while she surrounded herself with beauty Pokemon as she basically was practically, that's why she's acting as crazy as she is, because she's she's got the blind devotion toward Rose, because he basically pulled her out of a bad situation and helped her have a happier life. And
so similar to the trap.
Right, and that's why she still has that Garbodor, because despite surrounding herself with a bunch of beauty Pokemon, she cannot part with her partner that she started off with. That's why you see her Gigantamax moment. She actually cradles the Pokeball for a brief moment, and then she throws it. Like, story-wise, Oleana is not a bad character.
I didn't say she was a bad character. I said I wanted to know why they were doing what they were doing.
Well, yeah, that's kind of like the sort of reason why she is the way she is. She's very blindly devoted toward Rose because, well, he practically saved her. And that's another thing with like a character like Bede, you know, the arrogant rival.
I just call him Trap or Bidet.
From what I understand, his name is actually pronounced Bede. I actually pronounced him Bidet as well.
Well, I took to calling him Bidet because a bidet is a thing that we don't have here in America that is meant to clean your butthole by shooting water out.
Oh, right. Guess what? Bede is actually a similar situation. He was an orphan.
Right, we knew that from the main story, but did I just miss main story sections where they explained Oleana, or is that an endgame thing?
It is endgame, and you also get little snippets of information through the league cards, actually. Like the back of the league,
lie,
the back of the league cards actually have information on them.
I did read a bunch of them, and I was like, oh, these are really cool. And then I eventually stopped reading them because I was getting assaulted with, I felt like a whole lot of them.
No,
Seems bad to pay attention to little things.
yeah, like end games, you actually get some bonus league cards. Like for one, you learn that Nessa is actually a model.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, and you also get a league card that shows Kabu in it when he was much younger.
Oh,
Or my personal favorite, Pierce, whenever he first took on the gym challenge. Him as a young
can I
boy.
get a league card of Nessa modeling?
Oh yeah, they got like completely like unique cards and all of that. Like they're rare league cards. Even Leon's got one.
Oh wow.
Like I think you get a rare league card from each gym leader in the post game. So I do recommend that you kind of go through with the post game and get some of those. That way you can get more information and stuff like that. Hell, the league card, the rare league card I got from Alistair shows what he looks like under the mask.
I've seen that one because Sarah showed it to me, but
Alistair's he's a sweet boy.
he looks it.
He's a very sweet.
He's a precious little bean.
Indeed. Also scary as hell.
Chill, man. but
yeah.
But the padding I was saying though
Right,
prevents me from calling it good. It's competent, and if it weren't for those two things, I'd call it good. But as it stands, I have to just call it average.
Right. Now, talking about
But-
some of the... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
But I don't think it matters. I think that my saying it's average and you saying it's good has to be thrown out, and it has to be considered bad.
Oh, yeah?
Because we can't set aside all of those negatives. We can't set aside all of the controversy.
Right. I mean,
Those
I would...
matter, and we have to judge. I think in my script I refer to it this way: because of Game Freak's attitude and because of everything that they did, it ceases to be about what the game is, and it becomes what the game isn't. We didn't judge, and we don't to this day judge No Man's Sky or Aliens Colonial Marines on what they are. No Man's Sky on release had a good core mechanic.
But
Aliens
the game
Colonial
company
Marines
just...
actually had some smooth shooting mechanics. But because of the actions of the company, we can't look at what it was. It only matters what it wasn't. And my final line is that one of those two games pulled itself back up through the sheer love, dedication, and innovation of its company. And when's the last time we saw any of that out of Game Freak?
Fair enough. Which, ironically, you kind of... It's funny. You kind of bring that... You kind of... For some reason, you kind of making me think of Warframe, because that's one of those games where the company actually gives it... Like, actually cares about their fan base and all that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. Like me... I mean, if I had to rate this Pokemon game and compare it to my experience with the rest of the games, because to be fair, I've rated a lot of games at like around 8 or 9s. I don't think I've ever rated a Pokemon game a 10, aside from the Mystery Dungeon games, because those tear my soul out. I admit, I fucking bawl my eyes out during those games. I will admit this. I'm pretty sure a lot of people do, but I bawl my eyes out for every damn Mystery Dungeon game. Every time a new Mystery Dungeon game comes out, my first thought is, okay, here's my soul. Let's get to the ripping.
You know how on my channel I say that this is me discovering games because I haven't actually played a lot of them?
Oh yeah.
I've never played a Mystery Dungeon title.
Blasphemy. Okay, you know what? In that case, I will go ahead and recommend you a good starter. Red Rescue Team.
Red Rescue Team?
Yes. Or Blue
Alright.
Rescue Team. Red Rescue Team is a Game Boy Advance game, while Blue Rescue Team is the DS counterpart. That was a weird moment for Game Freak right there. Like, one of its versions is a DS exclusive, but the other one's a Game Boy Advance? Or actually, I stand corrected. A better one, if you want to, is, well, they recently just remade a Mystery Dungeon game, DX. That's basically, I think that one's Red Rescue Team and Blue Rescue Team together.
Huh.
So, well, there you go. They got a Switch remake of that one. But, a personal favorite of mine is, actually, you know what? I've actually got the DS game still. I actually still have this. And I gotta go through my entire cabinet of DS games. What the hell's wrong with me? It's, I think it was Explorers of Darkness, I believe. It came into, like, a game, it was a game of 3. There was Explorers of Time, Explorers of Sky, and then Explorers of Darkness.
Okay.
And they're all basically kind of like the same thing with different Pokemon and some slight element changes to it. But that one seems to be a personal favorite. Actually, I think it's because of Explorers of Time that Dusk Noir became like my favorite ghost Pokemon, actually. Yep, here we go. It is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Darkness for the DS.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's been on my list that I need to do.
If you want yourself a good tearjerker, that one's actually a great start. Like, I don't know what it is. Those things, I admit, I'm a sucker for the emotional stuff. That stuff really gets to me.
Hey, I play Fire Emblem too, my man.
Good. But, like, okay, my final thoughts on Pokemon Sword and Shield on this one.
Yes.
Obviously, I haven't played Sword, obviously.
They're the same game. They really are.
Yeah, they have, like, their exclusives and all that stuff. Since I've played the game to its end, not counting, I mean, I'll probably have, like, my own separate thoughts for whenever the DLC drops and all that. Like,
I do not intend to buy the DLC.
I unfortunately already got the pass because I kind of got that as a gift from one of my friends.
Then at least you didn't spend your own money on it. I just cannot justify spending $30 more for things that should have been there already.
Right. I'll give my own thoughts on that whenever those come out, so I can help kind of like tell you what I personally think of it. You know.
I definitely look forward to hearing it.
Oh yeah. Looking at Pokemon Sword and Shield, I will admit I kind of wish that it was a little cheaper, but what it did good in my eyes, I thought it did really good. For one, I love a lot of the new designs for pretty much almost all of the Pokemon. Even friggin' Appleton, that is the cutest fucking apple dragon I've ever seen in my life, and it's the only apple dragon I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yes.
That is the cutest freaking thing. And I chose to name it after a freaking creepypasta. I named it Happy Appy for some damn reason.
Why?
I
Why are you
don't
so
know. I
crazy?
saw a freaking apple Pokemon. I'm like, okay, how do I meme this? I'm gonna name you Happy Appy. Then it evolved, and I'm just like, I feel so bad. You're adorable.
What did I name mine? I don't remember.
But oh boy. From what it did good, I love, like, talking about the good stuff. Everything looked really nice. Like, a lot of the scenery that was in the game actually looked really pretty.
Why did I name it?
In terms of some of the character designs, like the gym leaders, I really liked them. Even though the first gym leader, the grass gym leader, literally reminds me of that one dude from My Hero Academia. The guy that can fucking phase through shit. That's what he reminded me of.
Hey, don't you dare insult Milo. He gives off that big dick energy.
He God damn it. But
Come on, tell me you don't see Milo and Nessa standing next to each other, and that you don't think that Milo's up to some kinky shit behind the scenes.
My viewers are gonna be so goddamn confused, like, oh my god, what the hell is he talking about? But
You have very innocent viewers. I apologize.
I deeply apologize to all of my viewers that are actually watching this entire exchange. I apologize.
But I agree with you that the gym leaders, their designs are great. I love, like, they all seem to have, like, they look very lively. I think that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Like, Again, my favorite gym leaders would definitely have to be like Alistair and Pierce. Ignoring the awkward non-singing.
Ignoring that, yes.
Leon is a goofball.
Which is perfect.
Yes. I mean, his fashion sense is kind of silly, and then let's talk about Raihan. His selfie game is on point.
Oh god, he creeps me out. I don't know why.
I don't know
creeps me
either.
out.
Like,
I love it.
like as soon as he gets into a battle, he looks like he's really wanting to freaking tear you apart.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as I saw his standard battle stance animations and him actively roaring, I'm like, dude, calm down! It's our Pokemon that are beating each other to death, not us! And then I'm expecting him to kind of run at me and then like, okay, you're here, boy, let's go!
Like I saw him in the overworld for the first time, I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, you're kind of boring. Then we got into battle and I'm like, oh, this dude's killed somebody. Help! Hello, 911, I'm an 11-year-old child and I'm here with a creepy man. Yes, please say help. Yes, I'm in the middle of the arena. You'll find me.
Yep. I liked a lot of the... Okay, one thing I should have brought up much earlier. Opal's gym was hilarious to me.
Yes! Oh my god, I loved Opal's gym.
Young man, how old am I? Clearly you're 16.
It's not nice to lie.
Actually, I chose 16.
I did too. She yells at you anyway.
She actually gives you a bit of a boost too, which was fantastic. Like, your Pokemon gets stronger, like, I like you. Oh my god, Opal was a treat.
Opal was beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I'm saying. You can't dislike any of... Even when I say that I dislike Rock Boy, I don't hate him.
Like, you can tell, like, a lot of...
I dislike Rock Boy in the same way that, like, Lieutenant Surge was an asshole.
Oh my god. Like, you can tell, like, with the characters, like, their designs, their personalities, everything about them, you can tell, like, a lot of love was put into them. Yeah. Like, again, going back to even Chairman Rose, he's... minus the, trying to end the world, not really end the world, I'm going to actually start the Doomsday program so that way I can actually save the world. Oh, shit, the Pokemon I thought I could control is suddenly going crazy.
Didn't think this through.
I apparently did not think this through. 10-year-old boy, come over here.
But,
God,
that sounds so wrong.
The series that he was just like, 10-year-old boy, I need your assistance.
Oh.
But at that point, you're challenging Leon, so it makes more sense to be like, 10-year-old boy, please help. As compared to, 10-year-old boy, I need your assistance. I have exactly one gym badge. And it's Brock, and I picked the water starter, so I don't think it counts.
Oh my goodness. I had to actually stop playing for a little bit as soon as I started battling Chairman Rose, because this theme suddenly blares up. I'm like, is this a Dark Souls boss fight? Because the music sounds like a freaking Dark Souls boss fight. Like Chairman Rose's theme.
Meanwhile, I haven't even gotten to hear the music I want to hear.
Oh, it's worth it, dude. I think I know what you're talking about. It's worth it.
The Toby Fox music.
Yes, it is really good. I think that's another positive that can be added. An indie developer was given so much recognition that he got to freaking make a song for one of the most popular franchises in the world. That shit is cool.
Hell yeah.
Like, I think he deserves that all and more, you know?
Well, I mean, at this point, for my channel, I have reviewed, if we count the games that I have the scripts and everything for right now that I'm just waiting to finish getting my footage, over 100 games.
Damn.
If you count all the episodes that I have scrapped because of me being a procrastinator, it's over 120. And out of that, there have been 2 games. that I would consider a perfect 10 out of 10, and Undertale's one of them.
Oh yeah, Undertale's great.
Undertale and Portal, for the record.
I've actually never played Portal before.
Oof, you should.
I know. I keep getting told that I need to.
Trying is right on the edge of that 10 out of 10, but its physics are meant to be that broken, but the physics are so broken that I can't call it a 10 in good conscience.
But
I don't know if I was actually write a review for Three Houses, I might call it a 9. I might call it a 10.
hell, I still haven't even gone through the other routes yet. So
Sorry, back on the we said no. We said no Three
we,
Houses.
we God damn it, we need to stop. Okay.
But
On its own merits, looking at Sword and Shield, like I said, my thoughts are I kind of wish it was a little bit cheaper, but I want to say that I'm probably going to sound complacent to some people. I was satisfied. Like, I think the driving force that made me satisfied with this game was the characters, the music, some elements of the story. Like, that final Dynamax raid battle with the legendaries, that shit was anime as hell.
yeah,
Like, I actually really liked that.
it went on too long, but I liked it. It was really cool, and then you saw the entire cutscene for the two doggos attacking for the 7th time.
I will say that those attacks, they do look pretty darn cool, though. Even if you do
They do, but by the 7th time, I'm like, all right, can I skip this?
Like, if they would have done much more damage, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I
if
think
they,
the
like,
problem is that if they'd done more damage, then they'd have to artificially scale the damage down when you get the doggos.
Right. And I think that might have been, that right there sounds like it might have been way too much trouble to program in a way.
Not necessarily. You could have hypothetically given that version of the dog, since there's no way to catch them, you could have given them a different move with the same name.
Ah, that's probably
All you'd have to
like,
do
with
is
a
create
different
a
base
replica
power
of the
level.
move. Yeah. And then make the catchable one have the normal power level.
Right. Okay, I can kind of agree with you on that one. I really didn't even think of that. But
It was still very badass. It just dragged out way too long.
right.
I can see a problem with
Like,
But
people hacking into the coding and getting that move.
at that point, it's recognized as a hacked Pokemon.
Fair?
fair enough.
So-
yeah. But yeah, overall, with like, because I like to, with Pokemon games, I try to take in as much information as I can. I don't like to, I know that there are some people that kind of blaze through Pokemon games like absolutely crazy. Like some guy who beat Pokemon Sword and Shield in day one, and I'm just kind of sitting there like, dude, I'm still trying to read through all this stuff. I want to absorb the information, damn it. I want to giga drain the information.
I tend to have a mix. I smell some of the roses when the roses seem interesting, but then I blow through a bunch of the rest of the stuff.
Like I said, aside from maybe Rose not being written the best, like I wish that could have been handled a little bit better. Other than that, that's probably my only real gripe with some of the characters. But with the little flavor text that you get with, like, and also background text with just the league cards, overall, I can tell that there was actually some effort put into writing the backstories, personalities, and such concerning a lot of the characters. And like I said, I think this was a good Pokemon game. I feel like some people might have tried to overhype it, and it's kind of like a similar situation to another game that I had a bad history with, which I don't want to get into. I think my Discord kind of knows what I'm talking about. Basically, it was kind of overhyped, and I was kind of let down.
The problem for me is that I don't think it was the fan base overhyping it. I think it was Game Freak trying
Yes,
to.
I will not deny that Game Freak did not handle this properly. I think if they would have handled this a little bit better, I feel like a large amount of the backlash would have been probably reduced at least a little bit, you know?
If they'd even just... How did I phrase it again in my script? If they had come out and they'd said, look, guys, this is why we're doing some of these things. We can't tell you some stuff because we're under contract. We don't have an option.
Right.
But this is what we're doing. And if they'd been honest with the fan base, and if they'd actually shown that they cared about the fan base instead of, haha, fuck you, we have your money and you'll pay it because it's Pokemon, then I'd have more respect for them. I'd have a better opinion of the game overall. Because like I said, in the end for me, we can't look at what the game is the same as we wouldn't for No Man's Sky, the same as we wouldn't for Aliens Cloning Marines. We have to look at what it isn't, because that's what Game Freak has done to it.
Mm. I'm hoping, part of me just hopes that they'll be able to handle a Pokemon game much better. I just realized the one thing that we never even talked about was Pokemon Camp. I just kind of realized that was like one of the things that we forgot to talk about.
I liked it.
Of course you liked it.
I admit, I kind of like watching. I'll sometimes just sit around and watch my Pokemon just kind of wander around and just doing their own little thing. I don't know. I just kind of like watching them interact with each other. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Call me spoiled, but I found the camp gimmicky for one reason.
You're spoiled. Opinion immediately ignored. Fuck you. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
I wanted the ability to pick up my Pokemon and pet them like I did in MaikyaYT.
Oh my god. Yes.
To me, that's what would have pushed it over the edge. I did love watching my Pokemon, but it felt like I was just in some viewer mode.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if I had had the ability to enter like a PokeAmi mode where I pick up the Pokemon and then enter the Ami mode, that's what would have pushed it over into something I could truly love. Instead of feeling like a side gimmick.
Right now, I'm kind of watching my Garbodor just being happy and dancing around, or running around right now, so I'm all good. Shut up! Do not judge my trash bag princess.
As I said, that's equally fair. Like I said, I know that's probably just me being spoiled.
I think it's all good. I mean, I don't know. I think this was actually. I think this was a very good back and forth.
Yeah, I think it's also how much I loved PokeAmi, though. Like, I still remember the first time I found out that if you smiled at the 3DS camera, your Pokemon recognized that you were smiling and like smiled back at you. And it was my little shiny Eevee.
And as soon as you say that, my Garbodor starts smiling at me, and now she's wandering off. But, yeah.
It was definitely not discussing it, though.
Right. Well, I think this was actually... I think this was a very productive sort of discussion that we could have had on the games. I mean... It was a very. I think it was a good back and forth.
Pokemon's facing away from me.
Do what?
I see how it is. I go into my camp and every one of my Pokemon had their back to me.
Oh, I won't deny. The cutest freaking thing though is watching your Alchemy try her best, like watching an Alchemy try their best to waddle towards you as fast as they can. It's the cutest shit.
Snom is best at that, though.
Oh yeah, Snom is adorable, equally as adorable. But it's like watching a little child crawling towards you. I'm not ignoring you. I'm not ignoring you, Aya. I'm not ignoring you.
But I apologize. I keep interrupting.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. But, yeah. That was a very short-lived conversation on Pokemon Camp.
Sorry.
This game had a very big big fixation on curry.
Yeah, that was weird. Curry's not even a traditional, like, British dish, is it?
No, actually it's an Indian dish, if memory serves. Like, it originated in India.
Can I explain?
Sure.
Curry is very popular in Britain right now. There's a whole lot of curry shops popping up everywhere.
Wait, seriously?
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you learn something new every day, then.
Yeah. Thanks, babe.
Huh.
That's why Appleton exists that's actually named after the dragon that lives in a hill and pokes out, and it's a worm. So they put a worm in an apple.
You're kidding.
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
I told you, she's a diehard fangirl. She knows this stuff.
I know too much stuff. You thought you rolled around in the dirt or in the lore. I literally sleep in it.
Shit, you learn something new every day.
Like, the new thing, the expansion, one of the gym leader you're gonna run into has a nose like a... Do you know anything about Japanese lore? Like the Tengu?
Yes.
He has a Tengu face.
I noticed. Well, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, why does that look eerily familiar to me?
That made me uncomfortable, but also curious, because there's two types of Tengu. The good for you and the bad for you.
I hope he's the good for you guy. Jesus.
Because Spirited Away come from Tengu deciding, hey, you look fun, you're coming with me.
Welcome, young lad or lad, to this new land. You're never going home.
Oh god, I just dealt with this with Animal Crossing. Leave me alone.
And your mother just wondering, I wonder when my child is going to come back from that weird trip.
Yeah, please, it's a Pokemon game. You think my mom even wants me to ever come home?
There.
Okay.
I mean, it's not as sus as X and Y. Well, I was only going to give one of you a Pokemon, but then I heard your famous mother was moving to town.
You're going to have two Pokemon.
Is she going to be at home alone once you're on your trip, young man?
Oh my god. Are you my new dad?
Hey, to be fair, if Professor Sycamore was my new dad, I'd be up for it.
The last time I had a dad was in Hoenn. Oh my god. Okay, I think that pretty much puts an end to our thoughts, our review. Oh my god.
I believe it does.
We're ending our review with dad issues.